will get started at 9:05. Good morning and welcome. If you can share with us in the chat room, let us know what city you're joining us from. We'll get started at 9:05. Good morning and welcome. We will get started in 2 minutes. Again, if you're joining us on Zoom, please feel free to jump in the chat and let us know what city you're joining us from.
Before we get started, good morning, President Maloney.
Good morning.
How
Can
are
you hear
you?
me?
I can, yeah.
I'm good. How was your summer?
Things are going well. Things are going well. I haven't been able to go where I want to go necessarily, but we're making the best of what we got for sure.
That's good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to you maybe offline.
Absolutely.
All right, we will get started in 1 minute. Don't be shy. Let us know what city are you joining us from. I'll put my city. All right. Oceanside. Must be nice weather over there. Austria. Wow. Awesome. All right. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And I think we are ready to get started. Yes. All right. So thank you and welcome. Thank you for joining us for our New Student Welcome Day 2020. I'm so very happy to see all of you. Thank you for joining us in the chat. We also are currently live streaming on YouTube, so welcome to our YouTube viewers. We're very happy to have you here. We're very happy to see you. My name is Julieta Aramburo, and I'm the Director of Outreach and School Relations at El Camino College. We're happy to have you join us. And again, hello to those of you on YouTube. Today is all about all things new. It's a new semester, it's a new school year, and it's a new school for some of you. And also new concepts. Some of those concepts that will help to guide you as you select your major and career at El Camino College. And you'll hear more about that later at this welcome ceremony. At this morning's welcome ceremony, you will hear from some of our campus leaders. You'll have a chance to send us some questions in the chat here on Zoom. And again, to kick off our day, I'd like to introduce President of El Camino College, Dr. Maloney.
Thank you, Julieta. I'm very happy to be here. Good morning. Welcome to El Camino College's New Student Welcome Day. On behalf of the college, I just want to say to you students, we're so glad you're here. We feel you're at the beginning of an incredible journey that's going to have a profound impact on your life. Many times I meet people in the community who tell me they went to El Camino College and what a difference it made for them. I hope that's the same for you. The start of a new semester is always busy and it's always exciting, but this is a little bit unusual and different due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So our campus is not bustling with students right now, although we know that many students will be starting their classes this week. The ongoing pandemic has affected just about every aspect of our lives, including how we learn and how we teach here at El Camino College. You may know almost all of the courses that are scheduled for this semester will be offered via online or remote delivery. This is because we are required to by the state of California and the Department of Public Health for LA County, and we will not reopen fully until such time as it is safe to do so. However, we are offering some essential workforce programs. Those are allowed to be offered. So if you're in those, you know your classes, some of those labs are going to be online. But online is a form of learning that some of you may not feel completely familiar with or comfortable with. And so knowing that, El Camino College offers you a full array of support services, including online tutoring, online resources through our Library and Learning Resource Center, online counseling and educational planning, and technical support. And this is just one example of how committed El Camino College is to your success. As you continue your educational journey here, you're going to be surrounded by faculty, staff, administrators who are focused on your progress and your development, people who know your name, who care about you, and who want to help you reach every one of your educational goals. We recognize many of you are facing significant struggles, some of which may present barriers to you pursuing your education. And please know that El Camino College stands ready to help you navigate through these current difficulties. So I encourage you, take advantage of every resource and service that's available to you. I hope you will get to know your instructors and your classmates. I encourage you to immerse yourself in your coursework and explore what interests you. This is a time in your life for discovery and to shape the next chapter for you. We truly believe El Camino College is a place where every student belongs and every student succeeds. I want to congratulate each of you for making the choice to be here. Your path to becoming an El Camino College warrior began when you enrolled this semester. You're on your way. I want to extend to each of you a warm welcome to El Camino College and my desire for you to have a very successful semester. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Dr. Maloney. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. We also have another campus leader who is very eager and excited to give you a welcome. Please welcome our current Associated Students Organization President, ASO President, Giancarlo Fernandez. Giancarlo?
Thank you, Julieta. And as always, thank you for your wisdom, President Maloney. Good morning, new El Camino College warriors. I am so proud to be able to welcome you all today. As a third-year political science student, I can confidently say that attending El Camino College was one of the best decisions I have ever made in my life. From the friends I have made outside and inside the classroom, from the staff, faculty, and administration, El Camino College provides me with a supportive local community that is dedicated to seeing me succeed. 3 years ago, I was just another first generation Latino student from a low-income family, pressured to further their education. I did not know what I wanted to study. All I knew is that I had to pick a major that could direct me into a high-paying career. At the time, I wanted to counter stereotypes and wanted to be the first one in my family to achieve a 2-year degree or certificate in computer science. Unfortunately, within weeks of my first course, I felt uninterested and not motivated whatsoever to continue the course. If I'm being completely honest, at one point I even felt that college was not for me. Looking back, I realized what I had done wrong. I did not ask for help. I did not take advantage of the counselors and advisors provided to me by student support programs. I did not seek tutoring help or attend my professor's office hours. As a former STEM student, I didn't even take advantage of MESA, who supports students pursuing math and science-based degrees. If I continue to list out resources available to El Camino College students that I did not take advantage of in my first year, eventually I'll be a fourth-year political science student. El Camino College is filled with resilient, ambitious, and goal-oriented students that see the opportunity to persevere against any obstacle and challenge thrown at them. But we can't do it on our own. We live in very uncertain times. From the new anxieties to the new inability to surround yourself with the people you love, it's important to understand that we are here for you all, no matter your race, color, creed, sex, gender identity, gender expression, sexual orientation, or disability. We want you to get the best experiences from El Camino College and help you prepare to reach your future goals, even through a virtual setting. So please take advantage of our student support programs and student health center that will continue to provide services virtually. Please take advantage of our Warrior Food Pantry that will continue to operate during the fall that provides any student taking at least one unit with free groceries and toiletries. Please take advantage of our Warrior Emergency Grant that can provide financial assistance to students to help pay for additional books, supplies, enrollment fees, or even transportation. Please take advantage of our incoming laptop loan program as well. Seeking help should be normalized just as much as helping others. So if you know of any other students that will benefit from any of these services, please let them know about them. We are a family. A speech for me would not be complete, although, without talking about my biggest regret at El Camino College. Please don't miss out on your first year semester to get involved on campus. Right from the start, if you can join a club or student organization or a support program, please do it. During the transition to virtual learning, I admit that I developed different habits. As someone who really loves spending time with family, it was difficult for me to not prioritize certain assignments over family game nights, for example. I also found myself sleeping less and waking up later. My time management skills have definitely been challenged during this pandemic, but I always kept my head up. I am proud to say that I managed straight A's nonetheless, and I owe it all to my involvement with student life. Last year, serving roles in ASO, the Interclub Council, Student Equity Advisory Council, and Student Ambassador have exposed me to meaningful memories and friendships. During a virtual setting, it's easier to feel you lack a sense of belonging at the school. These student clubs and organizations and support programs are filled with students and staff that want you to reach your goals. It is due to my involvement on campus that I stayed motivated throughout virtual learning. College relationships can shape your future, and El Camino College is home to amazing students and employees. So get involved, ask for help, and help others. I can't wait to see you all online this semester, but more importantly, I can't wait to see you in person in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Giancarlo. Thank you again, Dr. Maloney and Giancarlo, for your wonderful words of wisdoms. Definitely getting involved starts today. Being here today, you're getting involved. You're taking the very important steps to get started on the fall semester on the right foot. It starts today. take advantage. You're here. Be present. Take out a piece of paper, write some notes, open up a Word document, start typing up some notes. Do what you can to help prepare yourself for a very successful semester here at El Camino College. At the end of this session, we'll provide a little bit more details about the overview of the rest of the day, and we'll share some additional opportunities on what you can do to get involved. And again, getting involved may be by talking to another faculty member, emailing a faculty member, getting involved with other clubs and organizations on campus, attending a virtual workshop. There's so many different ways to get involved. And again, I will share these tips at the end of the session. Another way to get involved right now is in the chat. Feel free to jump in with some questions. We do have outreach staff available to answer any questions you have, and we can share any links you might need for the rest of your time here. As I mentioned earlier today is all about all things new semester, new school, new concepts. And at El Camino College, we've made very helpful changes to help guide you in selecting a major and career. And one of these concepts is meta majors, and something that might be brand new to some of you, and some of you may have already heard of this. Up next, you will receive an introduction to meta majors and what that means at El Camino College in a brief presentation. Following the presentation about meta majors, I'll introduce you to a panel of our stellar faculty who are here to help answer some of your questions, address some of your concerns, and also offer some words of advice for your first semester at El Camino. Again, drop your questions in the chat and we'll try to include them during the panel as well. And now to share with us about meta majors, I'd like to introduce our Guided Pathways co-coordinators, Jenny Simon and Janice Pon Ishikawa.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jenny Simon, and I'm here to talk about meta majors and program maps here at El Camino. So the staff and faculty have been working to organize our majors into meta majors. And first I should tell you that meta majors are groupings of related majors. When you applied to El Camino, you probably remember that you had to pick a major from a huge drop-down menu of over 200 degrees and certificates. And unless you were certain which major you wanted to choose, this was probably a difficult choice. So in the near future, students will be able to narrow their choice by choosing from one of 7 meta majors. We have 7 meta majors here. The meta majors are behavioral and social sciences. So that would be history, political science, art history, anthropology, and so on. Business, creative arts, creative arts also includes fashion and cosmetology, in addition to art, music, and so on. And the creative arts, health and community wellness, including nursing and administration of justice is in there as well. Industry and technology, languages, composition, and journalism. And you see it, you'll see it here on the screen here. And STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And now you will also receive many of your support services, such as counseling and tutoring, based on your meta major. And soon you'll be going into your meta major breakout room. Now my colleague Janice Pon Ishikawa is here to talk about program maps and what they are and why they're useful.
Hi, everyone. I am Janice Panishikawa. I'm a general counselor in the area of health and community wellness, and then I'm also a co-coordinator with Jenny Simon. So this is our program mapper. This is just a preview. We haven't actually launched it on our website, but it will be available soon. like Jenny talked about, all of our majors are grouped into these 7 meta majors. So if you're looking for your particular major or you're exploring, you would just go ahead and click on, let's say, industry and technology. It gives you a brief description along with all of the degrees and certificates that we offer here at El Camino. If you're interested to know how long it will take to, for instance, get a degree in architecture, you can click on that. It will give you, if a video is available, it give you a description about the degree, our program learning outcomes. It will give you salary information, and then it will give you a roadmap. And again, this is just a sample of the typical path to the courses that you'll take if you're a full-time student. So you could see this. It's not meant to replace meeting with a counselor. It's just to give you an idea of how long it will take. It gives you the requirements for your major, general education. You can print the map. You can explore different options within each of these areas. If you are interested, let's say in nursing, health and community wellness, you can click on nursing, pre-nursing, and then it will give you all the requirements in order to get that or lead to that degree. I guess that's it. It's to explore, to use in conjunction with meeting with a counselor to create an educational plan with. Sorry, hold on. I think sorry, that's it.
Perfect. All right, thank you. So again, meta majors is very new to El Camino. It was a process that took us a bit to get through to set up our majors into these various groupings. The reason why we bring it up right now during the welcome ceremony is because the next session following this welcome, which begins at 10:15, will be a meta major meetup. So most of you went onto our website, signed up for the event, and signed up for the welcome session for today. Then right below that, there was an opportunity to sign up for a meta major meetup. If you haven't done that, you can still do that at 10 a.m. Sign up for a meta major meetup based on your major. And each meta major will have listed a brief paragraph on what that means. And I'll show you on the website a little bit later. So make sure you keep that in mind. Again, listen to Giancarlo and getting involved. And again, part of that is meeting with faculty. So here today to share some additional words for us, we have our panel of some of our stellar faculty joining us this morning. They will provide us with words of wisdom as we begin our fall semester. I'll soon have our 4 panelists introduce themselves, and we will also do some Q&A. I have some questions for them to answer, but again, if you have a burning question that you'd like to ask somebody on the panel as we get going, please feel free to drop it in the chat and I'll get a notification about including your question, okay? So we have 4 panelists today, and we'll start with our first question. Please share your name and your role at El Camino College. How long have you worked at El Camino College? And if you can, share with us your favorite aspect about working at El Camino College? And we will begin with Professor Matt Chung.
Good morning, everybody. It's super nice to be on this panel. Thanks for inviting me. And to all the students, thanks for taking the time to show up to this and come to New Student Welcome Day, even though it's not our conventional New Student Welcome Day. To answer the question, what's my favorite aspect? Oh, actually, let me back up. I'm Professor Chung. I've been teaching here since 2007, and I work in the English department. So some of you might have me in the fall or the spring, perhaps. I think my most favorite aspect working here, it sounds really cliche, is to work with students. I am supposed to be teaching about, literature and writing and stuff, but I think the most important valuable lesson that I want to be able to teach is that education is attainable for all of you. So whether you're interested in getting a certificate or you want to go all the way to grad school and get a PhD, I want you to come to El Camino and learn that this is possible, education is possible, and education is for you. Thanks, Julieta.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Saranda Silvers. I've been at El Camino College for, this is my 6th year now. I'm a counseling faculty member in the first year experience office. And I'm also co-leading our first gen initiative on campus. So that's for students like myself who are the first in their family to go to college. The definition of first gen is if neither of your parents have a bachelor's degree from a US institution, then you too are first gen. So welcome to the club. If you didn't know, it's a good club to be in. What I love most about working at El Camino College is really just being able to serve my people and my community. So I grew up in Gardena, went to Percy, Perry, Gardena High School. So El Camino has an extra special place in my heart.
What's happening, y'all? This is Robert Williams here. I've been working at El Camino College since about 2014. I work as a counselor with a student equity and achievement program. I also am an athletic counselor. I also work as a counselor for our MANA program, which is specifically designed for Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander students. I think that one of my favorite aspects of working at El Camino College is creating new things, right? So when I first got to El Camino College, there was not a MANA program, right? There wasn't a program that specifically looked at men of color and their achievement gaps. Like Saranda was talking about, there wasn't a first gen committee, organization, all of the things that are attached to that. So there's so many new innovative things that we're doing at El Camino College. And I think that I encourage you with that in mind to be able to create things. I think that you're going to hear from some of the student workers, some of the people that actually work in outreach, or some of the people that work as ambassadors, that you can come up with ideas. You can start changing El Camino's campus now. And I think that with the administration that we have and with all of the support that you're going to get, that's very, very possible. So that's a little bit about me.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Rui Padilla. First, I want to say welcome to El Camino. I'm super excited that you decided to continue your educational journey with us. So I'm one of the full-time counselors. I work with instructors in the classroom to kind of collaborate and provide resources to students. I'm also working in the transfer center as well. So I help students figure out their overall transfer requirements based on their major and the university that they're interested in. I have been at El Camino since 2017. Prior to that, I was a part-time counselor at other colleges as well. My favorite thing about El Camino, I have to say, kind of chiming along with my colleagues, it has to be the diversity and the innovation that we have at El Camino. There's a lot of people at El Camino that include our students, our faculty, and our staff, that we all come from varying backgrounds. And I truly believe that our differences, our varying perspectives, these are the things that allow us to advocate for our own personal culture, our communities, our loved ones, and most importantly, ourselves as well. So, and we're also working, in terms of like helping meet student needs. And to me, all of that is exciting. So yeah, thanks, Julieta.
Thank you. We're in a transition. We've all been working from home for the most part since March. And again, like Dr. Maloney mentioned, the college is operating in an online environment for the fall semester. So a question for the panel is, in this online environment, what is something that you learned about how you work with students in this transition, what are some changes that you or the ECC team has made in order to support students? For example, our students have had to make changes in their learning styles, right? As Giancarlo mentioned, some of the things that he had to keep up with time management, and he definitely had to make changes there. So for faculty, what are some changes that you have made in order to help support our students in this current online environment? Matt?
Hi. Yeah, that's a really big question and an important question. We've all had to adjust. The faculty have changed a lot of what they do, not just to put it online, but traditionally we think of our classes as like a 2-hour block twice a week. But now we have to think of our classes like extending throughout the week, and we also think about what your schedules are. So we've made a lot of changes. Me personally, it's been a lot of work. It's been, I won't say it's not been difficult. It's been difficult. One of the things that kind of anchored me as we started was something that, like, I heard this from my aunt, said that she talked to an elementary school student that she knew who said, like, man, when we went online, all we have is work and none of the fun. And that really kind of like hit me. And I was like, yeah, since we went online, like, I'm just doing a lot of work and I'm not having a lot of fun with students. So I had to think about, like, well, how do we bring some of that fun back? How do I bring that enjoyable classroom atmosphere back? So I started to do more live streams. So students, when you guys go on Canvas, your course website, there's an app called Pronto. It's on the course website. You can access it from your computer, or you can access it on your phone. You can download it. And that allows us to chat in real time or initiate live streams as a class or one-on-one. I switch office hours to live streams. And if you wanted to talk to me, students would come in and I just live stream and chat with them for a while. And I also started doing Zooms, voluntary Zoom meetings once a week. So I'd go on for an hour, just teach a short lesson, discuss the books, go through like a writing lesson or something like that, but just find a little bit of time to connect with the students and just meet together and have some of that fun that we weren't able to have in the classroom at this time. Thanks, Julieta.
And for me, I have so much empathy for students and just everything that y'all are going through right now. So at the beginning of my counseling appointments, like, I just genuinely check in with my students as humans to see, how are you getting through this pandemic, racial climate, economic uncertainty, the political environment, the heat wave that is like hitting so hard right now. And I understand that students are impacted by all of these things. And I also recognize, that student may not be your primary identity. You could also be caretaker to your siblings. You could be experiencing job loss. You could be an essential worker. And there's so much complexity that's just happening simultaneously. As far as support, there's emergency grants through our Warrior Emergency Grant. There's computer loans, tutoring. If you have changes in your financial situation, you can work with financial aid to have them, reassess what you're eligible for. I think especially important right now is virtual therapy through our health center, because we got to get our minds right to be able to do this work. And there's a lot of just, secondary and first-hand trauma that's happening. For support, there's tons of tutoring, like virtual tutoring that you can get all over campus. I encourage you to check out our tutoring hub, writing center, math study center, student equity and achievement tutoring center. There's so much. And for me, as far as like changes, like just, counseling via video through Cranium and Zoom. And for a lot of students, it's counseling via phone, because I know the internet connection is not always where you want it to be. So emailing students resources and kind of being able to look at them simultaneously.
Perfect. Thank you.
You done, Saranda? Because you didn't give me nothing else to say, girl. What is going on here? Really, like, Saranda just like literally listed off almost everything that we're doing at El Camino College to help you as students succeed. Some of the things that Saranda has touched on was your mental health, was the social political climate that's going on right now. What El Camino College has done, what President Maloney has taken upon herself to do was create a race and equity committee. And that is going to be designed to make you feel more comfortable, to make you feel like you belong. So the idea is that we're going to hold ourselves accountable as educators to create an environment that is welcoming for you, that you feel as though you are being seen, that you are being heard. And that's happening at this time when there's a lot of political unrest. So I know that we're kind of moving away from what Julieta originally said this question was for, which is the online component. But I think it's so important to be able to mention that you are still going to be welcome at our school and that you belong at our school, and that we're doing everything that we can to be able to provide you with that. Shifting over to the online curriculum, and specifically for counseling, for me, we do phone appointments, we do virtual appointments. You can email me and I'll write my email in at the bottom of the screen after I speak. And you can just email me directly and we can just chat via email. My preferred method of counseling, though, is really going to be in person. Obviously, we can't do that. My second would be virtual, because when we're creating an ed plan, I can walk you through what we're doing. But for you to be able to see the ed plan that we're creating, it really seems like it helps students understand the process that much more fluidly. So I know that internet is bad sometimes, like mine is. I may go out right now. And some of you may not have the technology available. Some of you may be working from your phones and it's hard to be able to navigate that. So I empathize with that, and we're here for you through email, and we're here for you. I'll call you. I'm going to star 67. You're not going to have my personal cell phone number, but nonetheless, like for real, we're here in every single aspect that you could possibly imagine. But if you can download the ConnectEd app onto your iPad, onto your phone, if you want to work from your computer, if you have one, make sure you're using Chrome to be able to access these counseling appointments, because it's just going to make things go so much more smoothly. Okay?
Thank you.
I don't even know what to say anymore. I think everyone said everything. What I've seen in terms of like El Camino, I think we have gone through a lot of changes since we moved to a remote platform. Like my colleagues mentioned, like our counseling services, we now have them via video, telephone conferences. We tutoring services within the library, the math study. They still offer math tutoring as well. The Reading and Writing Center, our health center. One thing that I have noticed and I have seen is definitely an increase in collaboration across the college, because I think at the end of the day, everyone at the college, our goal is to make sure to help you reach your own personal, whether it's educational, your career goal. So in terms of like what have I done differently, prior to moving online, I was already working as an online counselor. So for me, it wasn't a difficult transition, but I know I still had to recognize in terms of the fact that not all students were ready for the transition online. So it's really, taking the time to listen to students and kind of hear out, what works best for you. And with saying that, I would encourage you to also, connect with your instructors and express any challenges that you might experience. Because based off of you expressing those challenges, then we're able to make adjustments, or when we ask for feedback, don't look at it as like a test or something like that. Look at it as an opportunity to share your experience, because by you speaking up and letting us know how we can improve, then we definitely want to make sure that, we're meeting your needs and that we're able to adjust whatever we need to adjust in order to help. Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you. And there is a question that came in the chat that I'd like to throw out. And if only one of you can answer this one, that would be great. And the question is there any advice you have for taking tests at home? Again, keeping on the theme of an online environment, especially for people who don't have a very quiet or private place to take them. So what advice do we have for students taking a test at home when we don't have a quiet environment? And I'll let one of you answer this one.
Okay,
Matt,
I'll try this one, I guess.
All right.
The first thing you should do is ask your professor if it's timed. Find out if the test is timed. Because if it's not timed, then you're going to have a lot more flexibility. And then you can take the test when it's quieter in your house. And secondly, some of like a smaller quiz, like for me, sometimes I'll offer a quiz. I'll keep it open like for two attempts. So you'll get 2 tries, like one in case you mess it up or your internet messes up. And then the second one, you can take it again. And then I'll usually take the higher score. So ask your professors about those conditions, and then you can plan a little bit better. And then after that, I guess, you know where you live better than I do. So if your professor has that flexibility where you can take it kind of like over the course of a few days, do your best to carve out that time and be really intentional about it. And then maybe even if you can communicate with the people in your home, like, hey, I just need like an hour and a half. Can you guys please let me stay in my room and don't knock on my door until then. So that's my best guess. So figure out the test conditions and then do your best to figure out your life condition, I guess.
Perfect. Good advice. Thank you. Definitely work with your professors. We can work with you. Our next question is for our counselors. When deciding on a major, what are some steps students can take to choose a major? And I know all of you might have a lot of the same information, so feel free to pass if you'd like to. But again, when deciding on a major, what are some steps students can take to help choose a meta major? And we'll start with Saranda.
All right. So first up, I'd like to start by saying that you are more than your major. So like that's really critical. And it's okay to not know exactly what you want to do with the rest of your life. Like, is that a valid question? But you really want to think about, what do you want to do next? What do you see yourself doing maybe in the next 5 to 10 years? Because I'm going to make myself younger for a second and loop myself into your generation. For our generation, we have multiple careers. I'm in my mid-30s, and El Camino, this is career number 7. So imagine, like, in not that much time, I've done a lot of different things. I worked in retail, management, nonprofit. I was a teacher. I was a third-party logistics coordinator and admission counselor for a year. And now I'm here at the community college. So this has been my longest career. I love what I do here, but this might not be my last career. So think about, what are some of the problems in the world that you want to solve? What are things you want to fix? What's important to you? What do you enjoy? What are your skills, interests, abilities? One way that I think of it is, I was a political science major, and once my professor assigned 7 books that they wrote. And so what excites you that you would read those 7 books for one class? Read all of them, because you can't BS that if the professor wrote them. I'm gonna quote Frank Ocean from his Blonde album, and said, Jay hit me on the email, said I ought to ask my network. So what you want to do, we're going to bring in some theory, because I'm in a doctoral program. So Tara Yoso has this theory of community cultural wealth. And one of the elements of capital that she talks about is social capital. So even as first gen folks, like, we have capital, we have skills, we have connections, whether it's church, family, friends, neighbors, acquaintances. If you hear someone that does something that kind of like lights you up, talk to them, like do an informational interview. It could be via Zoom, and ask them, like, how did you get to this career? What did you study? Do I need to study something specific to do this? And definitely take advantage of our career center.
Thank you.
So I think number one, you need to be patient with yourself. Your student, your friends, they don't know either. They may say that they know, but they don't know. They really don't. And then what that does is that then puts pressure on you because you think that your friend knows and that they got it all figured out. And I need for you to understand, echoing what Saranda was talking about, this idea that your major doesn't dictate what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Let's say you're an art major, but you end up going to medical school, right? You're a digital designer, and then you end up being something else, just dog walker. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, the idea is that it doesn't dictate who you are, but the time that you're spending here, I want you to be patient with yourself. I want you to explore what we have to offer. Don't just check boxes, right? You're going to have your general education classes, you're going to have your major classes, you're going to have your major prep classes. Well, what about learning how to play the guitar, right? What about learning how to do ceramics, right? Things like that. I don't want your college experience to get in the way of your education. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Like, you could get so caught up in taking classes and checking boxes that you forget to live life. Like, dance on some tabletops, have some fun. You're young, like, do your thing. So when you're choosing a major, be patient with yourself. Okay, so I will say this. We do have human development. I was going to leave this for Ruby, but we have human development classes. Sorry, Ruby. It's called Human Development 105 and Human Development 115. What those will help you do, you know what? I'm going to give that to Ruby to explain what those classes are. No, come on, you're shaking your head, no. They'll help you explore careers. They'll help you explore majors. They'll help you explore your strengths as a human being, and then how you can use those strengths to choose a major, to choose a career later on in life, okay? But overarching theme, be patient, dance on tabletops.
Ruby?
Okay, so I think a lot of the things, like, I echo a lot of the things, but one thing that I do tell students when I meet with them in counseling appointments is definitely pick something that you enjoy. And it's totally normal to change your major. I think when I was in college, I changed it like 2 or 3 times. And there is research that indicates that a college student on average might change their major about 3 times. So me as a counselor, when I'm sitting with a student and I'm looking at your grades, I can tell when you don't like your major, because I'll see it in your academic performance in terms of, like, your grades won't look pretty. But if you pick something you like, pick something you enjoy, then it definitely reflects in your grades, and then you'll have definitely a stronger, more competitive GPA. So I'm also, like, using my counseling transfer lens here when I'm talking to everyone. So, and like my colleagues also mentioned, in terms of majors and careers, they're not always linear. When I was in college, I was like Saranda too, actually. I also majored in political science. When I graduated, I was working at a law firm. Long story short, it wasn't for me. And I know other individuals and other counselors as well in similar circumstances that they majored in things like biology, or they majored in criminal justice, art history. And I think what's important in terms of your major is thinking how you're going to use the skills that you're learning in your major, and how you're going to apply them for future careers. And at the end of the day, if you're like super unsure, definitely encourage you to take advantage of our career counselors and our career center, that they will definitely guide you through that process of exploring a major, exploring a career. And like Robert mentioned, even maybe taking one of our human development classes, because they go through that process as well. Yeah.
Thank you. We are running out of time for our panel, because I do want to save some time to go over our website. Our last question are some words of wisdom that you'd like to share with our students. What is one piece of advice? If you could limit that to 30 seconds each, if there's something, burning words of wisdom you'd like to share, now is the time. And again, if you can limit that to 30 seconds, sorry about that.
Okay, I'm gonna give you one piece from me and one piece from my students. From me, be really intentional. we're at a time where we can't easily walk into an office hour or walk by the library to check out a book. So if you need help, be really intentional about it, be proactive and go get that help. So learn all the resources that you can, and then you'll know where to go when you get stuck. Advice from my students, I've been asking them like, hey, what would you tell future students at the end of each semester? And they've said two things. Check the modules in Canvas all the time, because that's where all your content is. So check the modules. And two, do discussions, because we feel really isolated right now, but discussions are where I interact with you, your professor interacts with you, and where you can meet friends and interact with your classmates. And so far, my students have been very gracious to each other and very supportive of each other. So a discussion board is a great way for you guys to network and make friends there. Okay, that's my 30.
Saranda?
So my piece of advice is that you can do this even in the moments where you feel like you can't. And so I mentioned I'm a doctoral student at Cal State Long Beach in my 3rd year. So I too had my spring interrupted, and I've been Zooming my butt off since then. So just keep at it and use your network, use your resources, ask for support.
Thank you. Robert?
I want you to be kind to yourself, for sure. What happened in high school doesn't dictate what's going to happen in college, right? Have high expectations for yourself. Don't just say to yourself, I'm going to go to wherever, I'm going to transfer to whoever will accept me. You can go to Harvard, you can go to Stanford, you can go to UCLA. That's it.
I think I mentioned this earlier, but don't be afraid to ask for help. Definitely express challenges that you're experiencing. Although we're remote, don't feel like you're alone. We're all, at El Camino, we're trying to help and services and make adjustments for you. So I would say this goes for both your instructors and even on our side in student services. So yeah, come talk to us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything that you've shared with us, for being open, honest, and real. We really appreciate it. I appreciate it, so I know our students appreciate it too. So round of applause for our panel for joining us this morning. I really, really appreciate it. Everything that you shared is like gold. So hopefully everybody did take some good notes for us. Intentional. Intentional is a key word. So with that, I am going to take us to our website, events website, and let you know what's happening next. So again, talk about getting involved and being intentional. This is it. It happens today. Our link will be shared in the chat, but this is our new Student Welcome Day website. Where we can find out what's coming up next. So from 10:15 to 11:15, there's a meta major meetup. For these sessions, you do have to sign up for every single one of them. Following the meta major meetup, if you could just scroll up, or actually, yeah, let's go through the meta major, sorry. So you can scroll down to the meta majors and you can see the title of the meta major. There's 7, plus we have one for undecided students. Read a little bit about the meta major and see what majors are included in that meta major. If that's one that interests you, sign up for the session. You get the link in your email and you can join the Zoom at 10:15 for your meta major. In these meetups, you'll get to meet other faculty, counseling faculty, instructional faculty. This is the time when you can find out, hey, what is it like to be a STEM student at El Camino College in a virtual environment, for example. So make sure you attend the meta major meetups following this workshop. Again, very critical, and it's the time to start building your network, your online network that you'll need for the fall 2020 semester. Following the meta major meetup, again, in the theme of being intentional and getting involved, is our student social hour from 11:30 to 12:30. It also requires a sign up, or you can save that Zoom meeting ID on the right and join at 11:30 to 12:30. Again, you'll get to meet other El Camino College students, current students. Some of our students are in ASO student government. We'll be discussing student life. We'll have some breakout rooms and really just some time to start building your network for the fall semester. Again, the link is shared in our chat. Make sure you bookmark that link. You keep that tab open, but that is what is coming up for us next. Very critical that you do attend the meta major workshops. Sign up at the top. and make sure that you join 10:15 to 11:15. Last week, we did have a series of workshops for our Prep for Fall Week. And some of you, I do recognize some of your names. So some of you joined us last week. If you were not able to join us last week, we do have recordings of the various sessions on the Prep for Fall Week website, which is the same website for today's event. So feel free to go there and also view these videos at your leisure. Various topics. Warrior Pantry opens every Tuesday and Thursday. At that session, they detailed exactly what are the steps you need to take to come by and pick up some food on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the El Camino College campus. Navigating My ECC, that's a good one. You get advice from other students on how to navigate My ECC. Another good one, since we are in a remote environment, best practices for learning in a remote environment. We have one of our faculty going over Canvas, and somebody from our distance ed office who's sharing with us some helpful hints about your Canvas classes. Yes, the semester begins on Saturday. For some of us, we'll see our classes in our Canvas account on Monday. This is all new, but we'll definitely get through this together, and we're here to help you. Okay. So this is what's coming up next. Again, on behalf of El Camino College, Outreach and School Relations, and Student Services, welcome to El Camino. Welcome to Fall 2020. We'll see you at the Meta Major Meetup, and we hope to see you again at the Social Hour. Thank you so much, and just remember, you got this. All right, take care. Thank you all. Thank you.